Welcome viewers to the first video class of online diploma program of Anthelian School of Art. And today what we are going to do, we are going to make a painting on watercolor. And as we have known that watercolor has got generally three kind of uses. One will be in form of wash, another will be in form of tempera, and the third one is gouache. Today we are going to specifically show how the wash can be made on paper. Actually, we are using here a paper, and on that particular paper we are going to make a painting by using wash form of watercolor. And while we are using it, we are going to cover up the first module, the last point of the first module, as well as the four another points of module 2, 4 points. So basically we are covering 5 points, 1 from module 1 and 4 from module 2. So let me start with the painting, so that I can, as according to the painting goes on, I can show you how the whole thing going on. Let me start with the drawing first. This is a page that has been clipped up on the particular board with masking tape, so that it remains straight as well as it remains perfect for doing the painting. Let us start with the drawing, and let me start with the say this is our flowers. Let me start with the flowers. It is a solid object, as because we are going to cover up the modules, there is some points which will cover up solid object as well as the soft object. So if the flower vase has been made, it will be taken as a solid object. Now I am doing the flowers. We have to do the drawing. This is the drawing. It's coming out. I'm making a round over here. We have to be careful so that the two sides will be same, as well as the balance will remain properly done. Now a little shape is coming out. I have to use a little bit of rubber because the whole thing has to be perfectly done, because drawing is very important. Now more or less the particular drawing, the shape has come, as we can see. Let us divide the whole place gradually. We can put something over here, say we can put an apple over here to make the composition right, because composition is very important. As we have seen in the module 1, composition is there, so that little part also been attached with this particular drawing. Now the composition is going on. Let us cover it with something, say let it be a round thing, and we will decide what we will do with it. Okay, and now I am putting a straight line over here to divide the whole area into 2 segments. So here is one segment and here is another one. What can we do with this particular part? Let us cover it up with these lines. It's coming smoothly, it's coming fine. Let us put something over here which can be petals of the flower. It's coming very smooth, isn't it? It's fine. It's coming out. Actually, while we will make the drawing part before going to the colors, we have to think about that properly the whole page should be covered up and there should be a breathing space. So we are going to leave the right upper part of the page as a breathing space, and we will cover the other parts as much as object we can. But we have to be careful. These are the patterns it's coming out. We have to be careful so that the whole drawing and painting will remain properly balanced. Let us put something over here. Well, I think a leaf will do better. Let us draw a leaf. Actually, while doing watercolor, any form of watercolor, while we are doing tempera, we don't have to make so much of detailing while doing the drawings. Okay, so this is the drawing of a leaf, and again we have space left over here, so let us put another leaf over here. This is the leaf. It's coming out gradually. Just with soft hand, I'm just putting the drawing over here, just with soft hand. You see, the shape of the leaf is more or less coming out, and still we have little bit of space over here. What can we do with that? Let us do something over here. Let us put some round shaped things, and we will think about what will be done with it. These are the things that is important to make the composition, because the whole space has to be more or less covered up by leaving a breathing space over there, as I told you before. So let us put another object over here. Right, and this is more or less done, and this whole thing is more or less covered, but this part is left little bit uncovered. So let us do something over here also. These are all basic drawings, just to show you how to cover up the whole things and how to use watercolor in the technique of tempera. So these are the things. Now let us see the drawing. The whole part has been divided into four. I mean, if I take from here to here a line, and if I take from here to here another line, we have four parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has been more or less covered up, and this particular space has been left, as we called it, as a breathing space, because every painting has to have a breathing space. Now let us take the colors. This is a small palette. As you can see, we are taking the color. Let me take. This is called ochre yellow. This is a shade of yellow which is called ochre yellow. Let me take a little bit of ochre yellow over here, and the first step of tempera. Tempera is the opaque form of watercolor. While we use wash, we use transparent form of watercolor, and tempera is totally different. It is opaque form of watercolor. We have to put little bit of water over here, not very much, and then let us put the color over here. I think you can see the use of the brushes. I'm just covering the whole area very smoothly. We have to be careful so that the line should not be, yes, this way. The color should not go off beside the line. First of all, just have to rub the whole thing in that way. Take a little bit of water once again. Just rub it. You have to move the brush in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction so that the pigments of the color can be properly distributed on this particular drawing. Gradually, we have to be careful at the border lines. It's coming well. It is very important to make the whole thing properly smudged. Otherwise, when it will be when it will dry up, the whole thing can be look a little bit fussy. So let us cover it up carefully. In tempera, the first layer of color is very important, because after that we can just go on with putting colors that I'll show you. But the first layer is very, very important. I'm just putting the color, and as you can see, I'm moving the brush clockwise as well as anti-clockwise direction. adding very little bit of color. I mean, sorry, little bit of water rather. So it's coming out as I am moving round. Be careful so that color should not go out of the lines. Okay, it's more or less done. Now let us put a color over here once again to cover it up. It's been covered, and we are not using so much of water. That is very important while we are using the form of tempera. See, the color has been distributed throughout the whole area. This part is left. Let us be careful so that it can cover the whole area properly. Now, the base of the color is completed more or less. The whole place has been covered, and as we can see, it is an opaque one. In watercolor, generally we can see the layer beside, I mean under this particular color, but in tempera we don't see it. Let us take the this particular apple beside this particular pot. Let us take another color. It will be, it can be vermilion or crimson lake. Let us take crimson lake and little bit of lemon yellow. Here I am putting a little bit of lemon yellow. Crimson lake is already there, and I'm using another brush, and you have to have a piece of cloth so that you can rub the wet brush, because there should not be much water on the brush. Now again I am putting that particular color on this particular object. Again I am doing the same way, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Have to be careful while going towards the edge, because we should not cross the edge. It's very easy, you know. I'm doing it like this. You see, it's coming out nicely. Let us leave this particular part, because this particular ochre yellow is still wet. So let us take a little bit of time so that let it be dried out, and we then can smudge it up. So this part is left, and little bit of lemon yellow. We're using a little bit of lemon yellow over there to make a different shade, and that is the most important part of tempera. We can use watercolor as we can use in oil or in acrylic. This tempera form is such a form where you can use straight the colors onto the particular painting, and we can smudge it together. In gouache or in wash, we cannot do that. But while we are using tempera, we can do it. So the whole thing has been covered up. It takes very little time, you know, just coming out very clearly, I think. This way, just cover it up once again. We will have to take care of the edges later on with some fine brushes. Basically, the whole thing is covered. These are the first layer of the objects. Okay. Now let us take care of this particular two little round figure over there. Let us put lemon yellow and a little bit of red together, and we can use little bit of green. Sometimes it's stuck up. Even we can use cobalt blue, because if we mix up cobalt blue with lemon yellow, it will create the same impression, that is greenish impression. Let us make a green over here in the palette, and then again with the brush. We can even change the brush if needed. And because this is a smaller object, we have to change the brush. So again, little bit of green. Have to be careful at the edges. Let us put a little bit of water here to smudge it up. The smudging is very much important in tempera because the color are opaque, and so while using different colors they have to be properly smudged. So I am smudging it. Is being covered up. Now the thing is that while doing the drawing, we also have to think about the perspective. It is there in the model 1, so the perspective, it is in front and it is behind this particular object. So we have to be careful about this also. While putting the color over here, we have to make a little bit lighter than this one. A thing that goes far behind, gradually it becomes a little bit lighter. So it is not so far behind, but to showing it a little bit behind, we have to put colors which will not be so darker as the front one. Again, with a little bit of water, we have to smudge it off. I'm smudging the whole thing, a little bit of blue can be added to it. Again, have to be careful with the button, the edges. Let us leave this dry up a little bit. Small order is done. Now let us think about the petals of this particular color. I mean particular pots. The flower has got a petal, so let us put the. And this red is a very warm color, so we should not use red very vigorously in a painting. But as far as this particular one, we can use this particular red safely because the flowers has to be very colorful. You see, while using the color, I am just putting the color straight away on the object and I am just covering it up. This is the basic part of tempera. Just cover it up with the color and now it's more or less done. These are light. Careful about the shape of the petals. It's more or less done. Again, this one. again. And in that way, the whole objects are to be covered up. The technique is same. Just put the color, a little bit of water, take care of the edges. Now let's see whether this part is dried out or not. It is not clearly dried out, so let us take a little bit of time, and by that time we can think about this particular object. Let us put some light color over there, mix it up with white. Generally, in watercolor we don't use white, but in modern form of art, and especially in tempera, we of course use white, because that is the color which makes it up, the whole thing properly. And in the style of this particular, in this particular technique, you should have to mix the whole thing very properly. So let us mix it up. I'm putting a little bit of chrome yellow along with white. White has been put to make the whole thing a little bit of, to put it a little bit lighter tone. Giving a little bit lighter tone, I'm using white. Now see, again, I'm just going through the whole drawing with the brush, and I'm not using so much of water. As we generally know, in watercolor, especially in wash technique, we use lots of water, but in tempera, we should not use much water on it. Otherwise, this opaque effect will be gone. So, I'm not using so much of water, I'm just using the color straight away. And sometimes we have to make the brush with a bit of wet and rub it on the cloth. Again, put the color over there. It's coming out nicely. These are the hard objects. As we can see in the module 2, there are soft object and hard object. What is soft object and hard object in a painting? How can we decide? The thing which actually in life hard, that will be taken as a hard object. So this particular pot, this particular say little bit of pot-like thing, that these are hard objects. On the other hand, the flowers which I have made, these are comparatively soft ones. So when we put the colors, we have to choose the colors in that way so that it should look like hard as well as soft. So that way I'm covering it up. The whole thing has been covered up. And while putting the brush on the particular paper as well as on the object, you have to be careful, it should not come straight. You have to make it round clockwise and anti-clockwise. Otherwise the whole pigment will not be properly smudged, as I have told before. Now this part is already covered. So we can see the whole thing is more or less covered. Now we have two other things left. Let us cover with this or we're using lemon yellow and a little bit of cobalt blue, so it is making a greenish effect, yellowish green rather we should say. Let us cover it up, it's fine. Merge it clockwise and anti-clockwise as I said before. But the holding of the brush should be properly done, and we should not put much pressure on the paper, because otherwise the smudging will not be properly done. So we have to put the brush on paper very softly, and while moving it clockwise and anti-clockwise we have to be careful, so that we should not put so much pressure on the whole thing. Now, more or less, things have been covered with different colors. These two are left. So let us see what we can do with these particular part. Now we have to put a little bit of darker shade to show the perspective. This one, let us think that this one is in front and this is behind, as we can see through the drawing. So we have to create that particular effect. And in tempera we get that particular facility where we can put the color straight away, as we can do in oil painting too. Tempera is totally an Indian form. Now in the European part it is also used, but it is generally used in the Asian part rather in India. So let us make a little bit deeper color, cobalt blue along with sap green. Now we will mix a little bit of red with it, and this red is called scarlet. So scarlet, sap green and cobalt blue. Now I am putting this particular color on the edge of this particular apple. After putting it, now this is a very important part. You have to be very careful so that color should not cross the borderline. You have to be very, very careful. See? Coming out now. When the border is once made, you don't have to be so careful. You just have to put the brushes in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. Automatically the texture will come out. The texture means the effect that creates on that particular body of this particular apple. So this darker part is already been met. Let us put a little bit of light shade over there. Again with color on it. I have used a bit of yellow and this scarlet to make it a bit light shades over there. Because in painting, what we have to be careful about from where the light is coming. So let us assume the light is coming from this particular part. So this one will be a little bit lighter than this particular part. Hope it is clear. Now Again, we have to think about the lower part of this particular object. I'm basically showing you the apple so that you can have a clear idea of using tempera as well as the shadings. The other part has been given over there how to make the composition. So better you concentrate on this particular apple so that you can see the shadings and obviously the composition part as we have done is clear to you. But we will do the apple properly so that you can see the technique of tempera clearly. The other part will remain as it is. It can be done in the same way. Just to show you how to balance painting, I have put all these objects. So let us put color in that way. Now see, I am just putting the color straight away on the paper, and now instead of rubbing it clockwise and anti-clockwise, now I am using the brush in different way. This is a very important part. This is the final part of the tempera where I am using strokes. Generally, we do it in oil painting. While we do oil painting, we use this technique, and we can use this particular technique in tempera too. This is a very important part of doing tempera. These particular strokes are very, very important. This will create light and shade. Let us take some other brush. Let us put it in this way. Let us smudge it properly, and it's going round the lower edge of it. And again, this particular edge is being covered up. See, gradually the light and shade is coming out, and the whole thing is merging gradually. Again, let us take another brush to put a little bit of lighter tone. And here I am using ochre yellow, which has been used over here. So, ochre yellow and white to put a little bit of lighter effect. And again, I am using that particular strokes. Not I am moving the brush in a round way or in any other way. I am just giving strokes. Just see, small strokes. These small strokes will create the light and shade effect automatically, as well as while we are doing something with the brush, we should leave a little bit of brushes, strokes of the brush, because these are very important. Brush strokes are very, very important. See, the strokes are very clear. It's coming out gradually. And automatically the whole thing is merged up. I'm just putting strokes. See? Little bit of white over here to highlight the whole part. Again strokes. Small little strokes. The strokes are very important. Coming down again. As you can see, the light is coming from there, so this particular part will be a little bit highlighted. So as we have put these light colors, layer after layer, it's creating that particular light and shade effect. We can use a little bit of light over here also. Again with strokes. This has to be very careful about, because while we are putting the color on the first layer, while we are using the brush by moving it clockwise and anti-clockwise, but while doing the shades and the final layers, we have to be very, very careful so that we should not repeat that clockwise anti-clockwise movement. Then the layer will be distracted from its original the effect that has come already, because in this particular part we just have to put on strokes to make the light and shade effect and to make the thing realistic. Here we will do only the apple so that the techniques can be very much clear to you. The other things have been there so that how to make the whole composition balanced, that has been shown. A little bit of what is left. Takes very little time here. Just have to be careful while putting the strokes. You can change the brush. Now see, this is a little bit flat type of brush. As because we have come to the final stage of it, we just have to again put strokes, and it is more or less dried out, so the strokes will be much better. See, automatically the edges are coming out, and now we have to put a little bit of highlight part to make the thing a bit natural. With the edge. You can use a little bit of yellow over there to break down the monotonicity. Yellow is a very important color. It actually sometimes not only used to color up the whole thing, but it's sometimes used to make the monotonous effect of any other color. Here we have used red, so we are using a little bit of yellow to break down the dominancy of white, rather I would say. Model is being done. The lower part, again we have to put a little bit of deeper effect, because that, as we have seen in the model 2, the weight as well as hardness and softness. So this particular part has to be a little bit harder. Hard thing has got wet, so light thing, as we generally think about, floats, and the hard thing must have to have some weight, so it comes down. That is why I'm putting a little bit of dark shades over there. Again with strokes. You see, I'm not giving any round movement, I'm just giving strokes. And as with the strokes, automatically the texture will come out. See, the texture of this particular object is coming out. And now finally, with a very sharp edged brush. See, we have to make the border lines. Again, we have to take this scarlet and just go through the lines carefully. In this particular case, we can use little bit of water so that the brush can move very softly. Because if it stops, it can create problems. So let's put a little bit of water over here, and I'm just moving the brush softly at the edge. The whole thing can be covered up. As you can see, color again. Finally, 2 or 3 strokes here and there. To create the effect of a painting, because it is not a photograph, it is a painting. So while we are doing a painting, we should have the brush strokes that creates the character of a painting. So I am giving the final brush strokes with a very soft way. You see, it strokes. It's done. Now, you can see the apple, it is there. The other things are not been done. It can be done in exactly the same way with same technique. So, first of all, what we have done, we have put the color straight away by moving the brush clockwise and anti-clockwise. Then when it has been dried out, then we are putting the shades, darker one, and then with strokes, we are creating the light and shade effect. As we can see on this particular apple, in the same way we can make up the whole other part of the painting, and it will be a complete one. I hope you have enjoyed it and you have understood the whole thing. If you can carry on with it in this particular process, it will be easy to make painting in this particular way of temper. Thank you very much.